hoping.
Weekdays at 3 on News Talk 760 WJR.
No, I can't hear anything either.
Fine. Done.
Mike, here?
Hey, I can't hear anything from the studio.
Oh, that's not a good start. Dog, come here. Hey. Hey. Nah, come on. Hey, come here. Come here. Who's the masked man there in the bottom? What is that all about?
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can't hear the station.
Oh, you can't hear the station yet?
No, I don't know
because it was coming on, right? Okay.
I think.
Yeah, sometimes I do that, right?
All right.
How's my sound?
Sound good.
All right, I'm on my phone, so. Who won?
Thompson.
Oh, he did
Michael
win.
Thompson.
All right, welcome in. There we go. Hi, how are you? Dead or alive?
Welcome back to the Spin on Golf Show. Now, back to your hosts, PGA professionals Jordan Young, Mike Fay, Brian Cairns, and WJR's own Sean Belegian.
Well, listen, if you follow on Facebook Live, you get to experience what we get to experience. I mean, we knew we were coming on about 10 seconds ago. And about 10 seconds before that, the most beautiful thing happened. All of a sudden, we saw BC's face, and he was talking to his dog. And then 2 seconds after that, which I love dogs, by the way. I'm all dogs. All of a sudden, we saw the masked man, the Lone Ranger, Jordan Young, appear on the screen as well. We didn't know we were going to have him, but here he is. Fellas, it's another week of Spin on Golf. It's a pleasure to be with you. How are you?
Everything's good out here in Philly. COVID Central.
Yeah, you know, parts unknown right now. Both Mike Fay and I are in the Metro Detroit area. BC, where are you at tonight?
I'm up at Forest Dunes.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We have a lot to do today. We have a few guests on today. Ken Griffin is going to join us, tell us what's going on up at Boyne. We're going to check in as well. PGA back at Warwick Hills. It's tournament week, July 27th through August 2nd. So we are definitely going to check in with that as well. But first, fellas, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention 3M Open. Michael Thompson with the two-shot victory. He shoots 19 under 67 today. Mike Fay, as you were talking about before the show started today, congratulations to Michael Thompson, and kind of a feel-good story as well for Michael Thompson.
Really good feel-good story here. You know, Schwartzel gave him a run, birdied 2 out of the last 3 holes to try and catch him, and just couldn't get it in there in the last hole. But Mike took it away from him on the last hole, making birdie. It was really good feel-good story. His last victory on the PGA Tour was the 2013 Honda Classic. He's been paid over $9 million on the PGA Tour. He's been on the tour for 10 years, and this is his second victory. And he just adopted a couple of children and right in the middle of COVID and got to know them during that time. And he was talking about how proud he is about being a father and all these really cool things. It was awesome to hear him talk.
You know, it's interesting today because you mentioned the run that Schwartzel made. How about the slew of 63s today? What, 3 different guys, if I'm not mistaken, right off the – it was Straka, Chase Koepka. Was it Bo with the other one? I think those were the 363s today. But my goodness gracious, you know, some of these low scores the last few weeks. I know that's been a common theme on the show. 63s on the final day. Nobody's going to bat an eyelid at that.
Yes, lots of birdies.
You know, it's interesting. I was texting you guys earlier, coming around in the backside, and we had Tony Finau, and we had a couple of other guys up there, and I made comment like it was kind of a 2-man go here. They had about 8 holes left, and they were 1 back, and I think 17 was posted, and they were both at 16. And Finau just, I mean, what happened? Where did he go? You know, so that's 2 weeks in a row. I think, wasn't he leading last week, heading in the last round, and it didn't come through for him. So something's up there.
Yeah, 69 round 3, 68 today. And I'm with you, Jordan. You know what? It was really setting up with about an hour to go in the tournament. I was thinking that this was, you know, this might be one of those drama Sunday afternoons. And, you know, full marks to Michael Thompson. He kind of took the drama out of it, fellas. And Mike, as you mentioned, first big win in a while, a paycheck of about 1.2. And I know, BC, you got some thoughts on that.
Yeah, you know, he made the tournament yesterday on 18. He hit that tee shot in the water, and he dropped that ball, rifled that 3-wood with no hesitation up in the greenside bunker. And now you got a greenside bunker shot across the green to the flag next to the water. Hits it in there about a foot, par. I'm on with it. That's what won him the golf tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he felt pretty good about that, and it was a big kind of setup for today, right?
Yep.
I mean, no, for Finau, I mean, 68 is still pretty darn good on a Sunday. I'd take that any day, but I guess you're just waiting for him to break through and start to dominate, kind of like Rahm did last week.
And another 9 by a name as well. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that. It's almost like that's the weekly segment. Who shot a 9 this past week? And doesn't it seem like we talked about that? We got to get that one.
Punk of the week. Punk of the week. Punk of the week.
You were reading my mind, BC. We got Punk of the week, and I guess we have to do who shot a 9 on a hole this week. I guess it was DJ's turn, fellas.
What was he thinking?
Watch how good this tee shot is. Watch how good this is. It's amazing.
What do you have in? He had like
600-yard hole. 600.
Didn't he have like 205 yards in or something like that for a second shot?
Watch how far this goes.
So he's probably hitting like an 8-iron or a 9-iron.
See, that goes to show you anybody can make a 9 at any point.
What was he at heading into this hole?
He's 2
over. What does it say? Was he 2 over?
No kidding. This is funny because you're right. I mean, that's such a good shot, and it's one of those, how did we end up there?
I was watching this morning, and I'm like, okay, I mean, it's perfect. He actually makes a 9 from here. So what do you do? Hit in the water 3 times? And, yep. And then he hit it about a foot, right?
Yeah.
Dunk. Stony.
even the guys commentating didn't really know what was going on. They're like, did that go in the water again? Yeah, I think it hit the rocks.
Well, it happens to everybody, and of course, we want to remind you as well. If you have any thoughts, if you have any comments, make sure to follow us on Twitter, and you can get your thoughts or any predictions, what have you, at #AskWJRGolf. As I mentioned, we've got a couple special guests today. The first guest is going to join us in just a matter of moments here on Spin on Golf on 760 WJR. He will be Ken Griffin, the Director of Golf Sales and Marketing, Boyne USA. Needless to say, it's been a crazy, wacky, zany year. So we'll check in with Ken, see how things have been going up in Boyne. Once again, Spin on Golf, as somebody just said on Facebook Live, not only can you listen to us on WJR, but you can check us out on Facebook Live. 3 golf pros and Sean. Yes, nobody's going to confuse me for a golf pro. We'll come back and talk to a real pro and Ken Griffin right here, Spin on Golf on 760 WJR.
Just special shout out to Jake Neen, who made the event Monday, qualified 63, Oakland University, and I think he shot 70, 78, 71 out there.
Yeah,
Make sure you get that out there. Yeah, get that out there, Jordan.
Yeah. Hey Ken, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Local kid, Lakeland High School too.
Yep.
Hey, Jordan, by the way, is it Matt Stepness? Is that how I say the last name? I'm not sure. The pronunciation.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Matt Stepness.
Yeah. And Ken Griffin's tough too, so it's Ken Griffin.
Tough. Struggling all day.
I might pop off for 15 minutes because we're just getting in the car.
Okay.
Who's running the Who's running? Is it Ray?
Ray is doing the there he is. Hi, Ray.
Okay.
And Stets is back in the station.
Okay.
Stets, don't worry about it, bro. It's all good. As long as we get on the air, that's the only thing that matters. Nobody needs to know what happens off the air.
I'll go mute here for a bit.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
You bet.
You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round.
Welcome back to the Spin on Golf Show. Now, back to your hosts, PGA professionals Jordan Young, Mike Fay, Brian Cairns, and WJR's own Sean Belegian.
Spin on Golf here Sunday night. Glad you could join us, 760 WJR, and of course, Facebook Live. Glad this gentleman can join us as well. Let's welcome him in. He is the Director of Golf Sales and Marketing for Boyne USA. Really a pleasure for him to join us, and we're going to thank him ahead of time for joining us as well. Let's welcome in Ken Griffin. First of all, Ken, again, thank you so much for joining us here on Spin on Golf. How are you, sir?
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on tonight. It's great to be on, and it's great that we can golf and get out and enjoy ourselves instead of being stuck in the house.
You know, I mean, that's the crazy. Look, we've all been dealing with this in different ways. I mean, everybody has dealt with some kind of adversity, change, etc. How would you even describe what the last few months have been for you guys, Ken?
Well, I mean, the only thing I said about the only thing that was normal was we kind of opened the courses around when we normally open the courses in early May. But May was a grind. The rules kept changing weekly. Luckily, by the end of May, we were fortunate. We had all 10 courses open, and we were allowed to have 2 to a cart. You know, for us, it's a big challenge because we only really have 2 courses you can walk. Everything else, you really need a cart to play in. So, you know, it was tough those first 6 weeks, but really since about mid-June, the numbers are up. You know, people want to get out and golf, and we're fortunate to provide that.
What kind of precautions do you guys have to take? You know, the state has obviously been in different phases and whatnot. What's it like for you guys?
Well, we're trying to reduce the risk for everybody. We realize as soon as you step out of your house, you're taking some risk nowadays. And we just want to try and minimize it. You know, every employee has to do a health check before they report to work every morning. You know, we have safety cleaning protocols, not only at the resorts, but also on the courses. You know, whenever you drive now, and this rule just changed again, that now we wear masks when we're on the cart pad. Once you're out on the course, you don't have to. You know, the no rakes in the bunkers, no flags, you know, foam, so it's a more natural feel. So we're doing everything we can, cleaning cart, excuse me, in between every round for everybody. So if we just keep following the rules that the state and really the national golf course owners are the biggest guidelines we're trying to follow so that we can continue to play golf.
Once again, kindly joining us here on Spin on Golf is Ken Griffin. He is the Director of Golf Sales and Marketing at Boyne USA. And, you know, I guess, Ken, that leads me to the next question. How is business? Mike Fay found a story today that said, you know, even with everything going on, golf is booming. I'm hoping it's booming for you. We're going to touch on that later, but I'm hoping it's booming for you guys.
Yeah, well, like I said, from about mid-June on, we've really seen an uptick in the number of rounds. You know, a lot of our rounds are early and late and through the course of the year. One of our biggest challenges is the Canadian border still being closed.
Sure.
Because Northern Michigan, not just ourselves, but all the resorts host a lot of Canadian golfers. So they're not open in big groups, you know. Like unfortunately, we had to cancel the TOC, which would have been this weekend. You guys know this is the weekend that all you guys are getting ready. You've played in the Pro-Am and you're getting ready for the TOC. Unfortunately, that's going to occur next year, but not this year with a bigger purse than ever. We were fortunate. We were able to hold the 109th Michigan Amateur at Boyne Highlands, as well as with a slightly reduced field size from normal. Down to 75 instead of 150. We held the 19th annual AJGA Coca-Cola Championships at the end of June. So that's great. And everything doesn't go away. We have a Mid-Am coming up and as well as the Kircher Cup coming up. So Adidas State Pro-Am's coming up in another week or so. So we can have events. You just have to be careful how you do them and be very careful with the field size.
Go ahead, BC.
Hey, Ken, Brian Cairns, good seeing you. You know, the good thing about Boyne, which nobody really mentions year after year after year, it's the same people. It's the same great service. And congratulations to the hierarchy at Boyne for keeping the people on year round, doing their work, and then knowing who you are when you come back the next year. It really is a special place. It's been a special place in my heart for a long time. And, you know, obviously anybody plays golf up there multiple times in the summer, but you guys do a great job and people just keep working at Boyne. They don't disappear, which is a great testament to the company.
Well, thanks, BC. We appreciate it. Yeah, I'm one of the newer guys on the golf team. I've only been there 12 years. But that was after calling on him for 20 years. So, you know, it's not really new. It's just kind of new to that part of the game. So.
It's absolutely beautiful up there. I think anybody who's been up there certainly can attest to that. Ken Griffin kindly joining us. Ken, you know, there's still so much uncertainty moving forward. What are you guys looking for towards as you look towards the future?
Well, we got to be ready to adapt because, as I said, we're trying to follow the rules. We've learned early in this process that we don't necessarily get to set all the rules if we want to continue to play golf, which for us is number one. We want to make it from now till, you know, late October, whenever we typically close down our courses to get them ready for winter. But we got to keep doing the right things. And if we do the right things, we can have courses open so that everybody, as Brian said, can come up and enjoy a quality experience, a quality golf experience, a quality resort experience, not just on our resorts, but also in the towns locally. I mean, it's good for the economy up there. We need to minimize risk, keep it as safe as we possibly can, to keep hosting people coming north. As I've said a few times during this, we have 10,000 acres between the three resorts. If you're looking for 6 feet of space, I'm pretty sure we can find it for you.
Ken Griffin, the director of golf sales and marketing, Boyne USA. Ken, as crazy as it sounds, there might be some people that still haven't made the trip up there, still haven't, made the trek, whatever you want to call it. How can people get in touch with you? I always like to say that, let people know how they can reach out to you. What's the best way to reach out to you guys?
Well, if you go to BoyneGolf.com, I mean, that really, if your focus is on golf, that's a good starting point because we have links into all three resort properties. But the big thing we see and what the travel surveys are saying, especially with some of the other states, thank goodness not ours because we think we're doing it right, an uptake in cases is that what are you doing? Why should I feel good about coming to your resort? And we put it front and center on all of our pages so that you can see what policies, what protocols we have. Even before you can get to our packages, you have to see the things that we're doing to try and make it the best experience for you. But go to BoyneGolf.com. Everything from tee times to packages to what we're doing for new protocol.
I'd be remiss right on your website if people haven't visited your website that you spoke of, BoyneGolf.com. You can see one of the tags is one of the best golf resorts, and that comes compliments of Forbes. Did they come visit? How did that work out? I mean, again, anybody who's up there, they'll emphatically give a thumbs up, but how did all that come about?
Well, we're very humble whenever that Forbes article came out because it picked the 6 best golf resorts in the U.S. And they had a writer that was very familiar with golf and has covered golf for years, Scott Kramer. And the top 6 were Bandon, Pebble, Whistling Straits, Kapalua, Pinehurst, and Boyne Golf.
Nice
pretty
group.
good company.
Nice group.
I think that's pretty good
Nice
company.
group.
Yeah, they said very humbling, but as Brian said, our teams work hard to try and provide that type of experience year after year, so that people can trust the resorts and trust the quality of the courses when they get there.
It's interesting. I mean, and I'll ask our crew about this. Mike, I'll start with you. It's got to be interesting, being a Michigander, being a guy that's certainly familiar with everything up there. It's got to be interesting. Do guys from all over kind of ask you about Boyne if they haven't been to Boyne yet? Or, hey, man, can you get to me to Boyne? Is it one of those circumstances, when you're out and about?
Absolutely. They're always asking me, I went up there. I went up last weekend. It's a fantastic place. Awesome place.
I can say personally, I've been going up there for, well, not as long as BC because BC is a lot older than I am, but probably a good 25 to maybe 30 years. And I'm not going to make it up there yet this year. And I'm really bummed because it's kind of a little getaway and love the golf up there. And obviously the people and all the friends you make up there and the staff. And so, yeah, I'm going to miss it this year, but I'll be back 2021 for sure.
Well, Jordan, go ahead, BC. Sorry.
It's been 50 years, and and Kircher, remember Kircher's, Mr. Kircher, I call him, Everett Kircher, always said we'd like to get the country club experience, golf course experience, the golf course conditioning to the people that come up here every month. And his son, Stephen, has done the same thing, and they made a recommitment about 10 years ago. And every time we go there, the golf courses are absolutely perfect.
They're better and better every year, all of them.
Yeah, they're so good. Yeah, they're so good. It's like, God dang, these greens are perfect. Again, every time we go there, the place is awesome.
BC, one of the things you hit on the head, it's the people. And it's the same people you see. And it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I love that. Go ahead, Ken. My apologies.
From the PGA team, we have 17 PGA pros on staff and the golf course superintendent. So, 7 golf course superintendents, I think, for the 10 courses. And we actually have one superintendent that just handles the 32-acre practice facility, Ross course. So we have a separate superintendent just for the practice facility. So it as Mike said, as all the guys have said, it really goes down to people and how much they care about the experience they provide.
Well, I'll reiterate a point that you just made because I saw it flash across the screen, Ken. where 6 feet apart is no problem. I think that's a great tagline, and continued success to you and everybody else up there. Once again, Ken Griffin, Director of Golf Sales and Marketing at Boyne USA. You know, if we can ever do anything for you, Ken, don't hesitate to reach out, and certainly we wish you continued success.
Thank you very much, guys. Give me a call when you're in the neighborhood.
All right.
Thanks, Ken.
Ken Griffin kindly joining us here on Spin on Golf. We have another special guest coming up. Don't you go anywhere, whether you're listening to us the old-fashioned way on the radio or you're watching us on Facebook Live. That table of food looked great, PC. We'll talk about that when we come back right here. Spin on Golf on 760 WJR.
How about some walleye?
What do you got there? Let's see what you got there.
Look at
And then
that.
you're gonna have just ribeye, mac and cheese. Huh?
Can we get everything
Hey,
out
Ken.
there? Was that all right?
That looks pretty good.
That looks great.
Ken, did we get everything out there for you? Was that
Yeah,
all right?
no, guys, it was super. Thanks. I mean,
Good.
I knew it would be with the professionals I was dealing with, so no sweat.
Appreciate it, Ken. Thank you very much.
Take care, fellas.
All right, we'll see you. Be well.
See you, Ken. Oh boy. Fantastic place up north. Good stuff, Sean.
All right, the Ally Challenge.
Let's talk about the birdies.
Matt Stepness. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Birdies for charity.
Yes.
Talk about that. Talk about the auction. That'd be cool. Benefit United Way at Genesee County.
Hi, Emily. There's Matt. Hi, Matt.
Yes, how you doing?
Tremendous. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I want to make sure I get your last name correctly. Is it Stepness?
You got it 100%. Right on. Yep.
Good. You let me know. We're going on in a couple minutes. If there's anything in particular you want me to hit, you want to walk me into anything we can help you to get the message out there, just be sure to let me know.
Yeah. We've got an online charity auction that's up and running on allychallenge.com. So if we could help encourage some participation on that side, it'd be fantastic.
Definitely.
Talk about the Birdies for Charity program. That's kind of cool, Matt.
Birdies for charity as well. 100%. Yeah, they're both. Yep.
Excellent. We'll lobby a bunch of softballs, help you out in any way we can.
I appreciate it.
You betcha.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome back to the Spin on Golf Show. Once again, your hosts, PGA professionals Jordan Young, Mike Fay, Brian Cairns, and WJR's own Sean Belegian.
Well, there is so much going on in the golfing world, and that's why we're here every Sunday night from 7 to 8 on 760 WJR. And, of course, we always love to talk about what is going on in our own backyard. So we'll head downstate from our previous guest a little bit to the beautiful, beautiful Warwick Hills. Of course, the Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is going on this week. It is indeed tournament week starting tomorrow, and kindly joining us is the tournament director, Matt Stepness, the HNS Sports Group, Columbus. kindly joining us here on Spin on Golf. First of all, Matt, really appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us tonight. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great. Excited for the week ahead. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
You know, there's so much planning that goes into this, and then I'm sure you're in that mode right now where you're like, okay, it's happening tomorrow. How's it been? It's got to be a whirlwind with everything else going on around us.
You know, not only the golf world, the sports world, but obviously the world for everybody's been a lot different these last few months, and planning live events is different, but we feel like we're in a really good spot. Great space. We've been, very fortunate. We're the first Champions Tour event back in 4.5 months, but I'm sure you guys are aware the regular tour has been back for 2 months now, and we've been fortunate to have a lot of, great learnings from them, and we feel like we're heading for a great week.
You were previously with the PGA Tour and in doing some research for the conversation. You joined the Allied Challenge management team after 7 years with the PGA Tour. Obviously, this is something that you wanted to do. Talk about the decision to make that move.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I started early in my career in the on the tournament management side of things out in LA at Riviera at the old Nissan Open, which is the Genesis Open these days. And then, like you said, I had a nice stint with the PGA Tour in their media group, and was just fortunate to I've been living in Michigan for about 8 years now, and never up until 3-4 years ago wouldn't have thought that there'd be professional golf back in this state, and here we are. So very fortunate to be in this position at a great host in Warwick Hills, and of course with a ton of history.
I'm sure you've been asked this question 100 times, and I'm going to make it 101. What does the field look like, Matt?
It's fantastic. It's going to be our best field to date, heading into year 3 here. These guys are, incredibly excited to get back to doing what they love doing and making a living. And we got 18 of the top 20 in the current Charles Schwab Cup standings. We had Jim Furyk come in as a late addition on Friday, making his debut. A couple others making their PGA Tour Champions debuts are KJ Choi and Mike Weir. So the field is really strong, and we feel very fortunate.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. I feel really old when I hear Mike Weir being a part of it. I'm not going to lie, right? I mean, it doesn't seem like that long ago where he was at 2003. He got it done in Augusta, and not that far away in Sarnia. It's got to be a pretty good treat for him, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he's excited without a doubt. We can't wait to host him. So it's going to be fun.
There are a lot of cool things going on, not just the golf, but we were talking before we came on the air here on 760 WJR about the online charity. Tell everybody what that is about and how they can be a part of it, and certainly how we can get the word out there about the online charity.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. So, everybody's aware, obviously we can't have fans or hospitality, and without those two means of revenue per se, we've been trying to develop another way to try to give back to our main charitable partner this year, which is United Way of Genesee County. So we launched an online auction this past week. You can find all the details at allychallenge.com. We've got some really cool signed memorabilia. We've got I know we've got the opportunity for a threesome at Muirfield. We've got custom club fitting with TaylorMade, and a lot of cool merchandise and opportunities that are going to be updated through Sunday, the end of the tournament. So make sure and check that out.
What's that website again? Just we're going to hammer that website so people are aware of it and hopefully can participate in it. What's that website again?
TheAllyChallenge.com.
Outstanding. That's an easy one to remember, everybody. Hopefully you can be a part of that. The allychallenge.com. Kindly joining us, Matt Stepness, the tournament director. Tell us a little bit about Birdies for Charity. Mike Fay was just mentioning that during the break as well. Give us some background on what Birdies for Charity is all about.
Absolutely. So I mentioned earlier that our main charitable partner this year is the United Way of Genesee County, but Birdies for Charity allows any Michigan-based 501c3, any charitable organization in Michigan, to participate. So it's basically a turnkey program in which we manage all the back end and details on our side of things. But, the organizations that register with that program, we just encourage them to go out to their own donor base and ask them to participate. And they can participate in a couple of different ways. They can make a donation based off of how many birdies are made for the 3 days of the competition, or they can just make a flat donation. And 100% of those proceeds with each of those charitable organizations will go back at the end of the tournament.
Great stuff. Ally Challenge. Certainly the festivities start tomorrow, as a matter of fact, and go through next weekend. And we'll have, as much news and reports about it as we can right here on 760 WJR. Matt, I have to ask you, we've talked to so many people about how things have been different this year. Obviously, they've been different. What kind of challenges did you guys face? Because, again, from the outside looking in, the tournaments that we've seen and everything that we're hearing so far about this particular tournament, it just seems seamless. It seems like, for all the talk about this going wrong or that going wrong, things have just gone right. What kind of challenges have been presented to you guys?
Yeah, it's just, I think it's all the additional, safety protocols that need to be put in place, even though there's no fans or spectators per se. It still takes a big staff and an operational crew and limited amount of volunteers this year, but we still need them as well. And, of course, the Golf Channel is going to be broadcasting. So with the players, the caddies, there's a lot of people we need to make sure, to the best of our ability, are safe this week. So, I'd say the biggest challenge is just putting all those steps in place. But I mentioned earlier, we've been very fortunate to learn from the PGA Tour the past eight weeks. The PGA Tour has been incredibly diligent on their side of things in providing the testing on site. They've got on-site mobile testing facility for all the players, all the caddies, anybody who's going to be inside that player caddy bubble this week. So we feel real good. There's hand sanitizing stations on every tee box. We've got PPE equipment. If you don't bring your own mask, it's going to be provided. We've got wipes and so that's it's just those are the biggest challenges, I'd say, that are different from years past.
Well, it's fantastic to have it in our own backyard again. I mean, depending on where you live, I'm not that far away from there. And I think you mentioned right when you came on, Matt, you thought, okay, well, that's it. It's great to be back in Warwick Hills again. And I think I speak for everybody in the golfing world. We're all excited for it. Again, we challenge everybody out there. Make sure that you check out the online charity. Be a part of this. Do your part. Those are the things that certainly we want to remind people, because not only are we going to see some fantastic golf, but as Matt was talking about, Matt, it's for a cause as well. And we certainly can't forget that.
Absolutely. It's you could say that these charitable organizations need this help arguably more than ever. They haven't had been able to host their own fundraising events that they're normal to, or I should say used to. So yeah, any help we can get through the Birdies for Charity program, through that online auction, would be tremendously appreciated.
Make sure you head there. The Ally Challenge, no doubt about it, starting tomorrow, continuing through the week, and we'll have news and reports for the tournament right here on 760 WJR. Matt Stepness, the tournament director, we really appreciate you taking the time. Best of luck. I know you guys aren't going to need it. You got this, but I got to say it anyway, and we really appreciate you joining us here.
No, I really appreciate you guys having us and all the support.
Excellent.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
If you need anything, make sure you reach out. We got your back.
Will do. Appreciate it, guys. All right.
Matt Stepness kindly joining us here on 760 WJR. BC, you wanted to bring something up?
Yeah, Matt. I mean, I know all the guys are really looking forward to it. I mean, I've talked to a couple of them coming up north and longer, and the guys really love the place. As you know, they've played it their whole career and they loved it, and it's just always been a feel-good place for them. And thanks for continuing the tradition at Warwick. I know Warwick loves to host it. It's a cool place. It really is. And I wish you the best of luck this week, but it just won't be the same without 17. We got to mention 17. It's the best. It's the coolest, rowdy, drunkenness, call it what you may. It's cool out there. It really is. But next year we'll be back out there partying it up, and really supporting the guys. Thanks for everything you do, man.
Absolutely.
Great
Thanks,
stuff.
Brian.
Best of luck.
John, Mike, thank you.
Matt Stepness, Tournament Director, the Ally Challenge. Make sure you check out that online charity. We'll come back, wrap it up on a Sunday night. Glad you could join us, whether you're listening the old-fashioned way on 760 WJR, taking part of the show on Facebook Live. We appreciate you being here. Spin on Golf on 760 WJR. Matt, thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your support.
You betcha. Take care.
Oh, BC, it's your time. It's time for the punk of the week, and I think I know who it is. You can announce it, though. And do you think he knows, Sean? Does he know?
I bet he's got it set.
You think he does?
Yeah,
I mean, I sent the link.
I think BC knows who the punk of the week is.
He knows who it is?
Come on. We lost some trees up here at the Loop, Mike. The big,
really?
The big white pine outside the clubhouse.
Oh, no.
Gone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they lost a bunch up here. That big windstorm they had, big storm last week.
Be right
really
back, guys.
took a lot of stuff down.
It was bad. Downtown Petoskey, the park, just got just so many trees down everywhere up north. It was bad.
Yeah, not good, but
bad.
Hey, what are you going to do?
Right.
We got another one rolling in right now. A good one rolling in. That's the lake.
I see that on the radar. It's coming. It's coming.
It's okay. Place needs it.
Yeah, we need a little bit of rain. A little bit of rain. Looks like BC is frozen.
Oh, is he?
Looks like it.
Yeah, yeah.
There he is.
Get too many apps open on your phone, plus the reception here isn't the best. I'm walking around the clubhouse trying to find the best spot. It's upstairs on the balcony, it looks like. Got to get in the river here in the next 15, 20 minutes and do some fly fishing.
Oh, lucky you. What's the weather like up there, BC?
We got a storm coming in about 15 minutes.
Welcome back to the Spin on Golf Show. Now, back to your hosts, PGA professionals Jordan Young, Mike Fay, Brian Cairns, and WJR's own Sean Belegian.
Well, that point of the show that you're all waiting for is coming up in just a couple minutes. I promise you. We just kind of stumbled upon this a couple weeks ago, and we're running with it. And this is sponsored by BC, the Punk of the Week. We'll get to that in just a moment. But Mike, I touched on this earlier. You sent a very interesting story about how during this time, it seems like things are going down and you wonder how participation is going to be. That doesn't seem to be the case with golf right now.
Yeah, that's right. Lots of golf being played, but it's a little different. People are traveling in a car, but not getting on a plane to play lots of golf. They'll drive closer to their house to play lots of golf, things like that going on. That's what the study showed. So I thought it was quite interesting. Lots of golf. I mean, I think this whole stay-at-home program has helped the game of golf. No doubt about it.
BC, you touched on this probably a month ago, maybe even 2 months ago, about how we should all make more of a concerted effort to get around this state as it is, because there are so many golf courses in this state. And I know you were very passionate about that. And I think these are the circumstances that lead to that.
Yeah, why leave Michigan? I mean, you're talking about the Boyne courses we're talking about here at Forest Dunes. I mean, you've got the Gales over there, Tawas or Escoda. Just keep going on and on. There's so many great facilities in this state that are worthy of playing, and you're like, oh my God, this is a great place. And coming up here this afternoon, it was bumper to bumper from exit from Sterling all the way to Flint, going south.
Wow.
So people are rolling, people are going back up north. I mean, I've never seen traffic like that on I-75 ever. The 40 or 50 years I've been coming up here. It's great. And mostly, I hope they're all Michigan plates too. People are staying home, spending money in our great state. It's cool.
That's a long stretch from Sterling. I mean, that's because usually you'll hit it maybe, a little bit south of Saginaw around Frankenmuth. There's always, action going down to Flinter. From Sterling, that is a long, long stretch.
Oh man, it was a red line, on the GPS all the way down, 3/4 of the way down the state. I'm like, wow, how'd you like to be in that right now? It's like, well, people are playing golf, and people are going out in the lake, and people are boating, and people are hiking. It's, what a great place to do it. I mean, Northern Michigan is just, as Mike knows, he's from there, but it's just really, really, really cool up here.
I've always appreciated, you mentioned Oscoda. I've always appreciated the quiet side. And, it's funny hearing you guys talk, because wherever you want to go to your destination, you're going to find a real quality golf course near there. Some people prefer the quiet side. They could prefer the west side. They want to go way up north. We got you covered in the state, so you don't have to jump on that plane. You don't have to go anywhere. You can stay right here and take a drive and be back in the same day more often than not.
Right. I just think, that it's too bad our current leader in the state of Michigan cut back the Pure Michigan campaign, because obviously it worked, and it has been working. And, I don't think people in Michigan know what they have in Michigan. They really don't. So, Mike, how cool is it up north on your side of the state? And then you go to the other side. It's like, wow, it's like, this is a totally different side of the state, totally different people, totally different attitude and atmosphere.
Yeah, Sean, I can attest to the traffic, no doubt. A lot more people going up north this summer. Yep. No doubt.
It's awesome.
You touched on it earlier as well, Mike. I mean, when you're talking about guys from other states, and you're talking about pros, the secret's out with them. Sometimes I think the secret isn't out with the average folk here in the great state of Michigan. And I've always kind of laughed at that. I mean, the pros know, heck, let's go to Michigan. There are a ton of golf courses we can go have a blast at.
Right. So now people are getting in the car and driving, which is pretty cool. You're not going to fly on a plane as much. So that's what the study showed. Pretty cool.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, BC, you ready? You
I'm freaking ready. I am freaking ready, man.
Get your popcorn.
I mean, come on, man. I'm going to steal Mr. Carter's words. Come on, man. DJ, are you really hurt? QWD after making a 9. I mean, you know what? If you don't want to play, then don't play. And another person on another radio station, on another, who we're talking about, said the fact that, the guy doesn't look like he even cares about playing golf. Well, I guess he does care about playing golf. He wouldn't be doing it, but he's sure making it pretty difficult for everyone to care, if he's really injured, he really cares about the game of golf anymore. You know what? And the top players are just not bringing it, are they, Mike? It's just like they're just waiting for the majors, or they're waiting for the FedEx. They're just waiting for the real money, I guess. But, DJ, come on. I mean, punk. Absolute punk.
There it is.
So
There you
I
go.
was waiting for
There
it.
you,
there
you
it
guys,
is.
you know what? The average person, I think sometimes we don't give the average fan enough respect because they can see things as well. But when you talk to guys, it doesn't matter what sport. It can be golf, it could be football, it could be they see what you're talking about, BC. Are you guys seeing that there are some guys that are going to sit back and go, all right, I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to, if I have a bad shot, well, I'm just going to let it fall down. It doesn't matter. I'm waiting till whatever event it may be. Is that something you're seeing in mass out of guys right now?
I think so. I mean, guys are walking it in. Basically they got to play in a certain amount of events to get into the FedEx and get their part of the pension at the end of the game. But there's so many guys that are chomping at the bit on the tours below them that will never get that chance in the next 16, 17 months because of the situation we're in. So you know what? Get out of the way and let's let some kids in there that really, really want to play. Punk, dunk the punk. He dunked a few this week.
All right, in the last couple minutes that we have, you guys, Warwick is a special place. I mean, you both touched on it. We were talking specifically to Matt Stepness about it. And again, check it out, the allychallenge.com. I mean, some great things going on, online charity. Talk about this field because, BC, I know you mentioned a few names. Pretty darn good field. I gave it a quick once over before we went on the air, but a pretty darn good field heading over to Warwick this week.
I mean, and everyone wonders why I'm not Monday qualifying tomorrow. I'm like, really? I couldn't beat these guys 30 years ago. What's going to get? You think I'm going to beat them tomorrow or try to get in the Monday qualifier and get a check? I mean, no. I mean, these guys are really, really good at what they do, and it's, and I played in the 6 Buick Opens and, I couldn't beat them then. So get on with it. These guys are great. Awesome field, by the way.
Yeah, watch on TV, right?
No doubt about it.
Yep.
It flew by tonight, boys. It's a pleasure. Go get some fly fishing in BC before the storms roll in. Make sure you check out Mike Fay Golf as well. Jordan Young, we appreciate you. Michael Stetz, our producer back at the radio station. Thanks for everything you do. Ray Templin, our engineer, on-site engineer, doing a plethora of things. Thank you very much for everybody involved. I'm Sean Blake saying we'll talk to you next week. Spin on Golf right here, 760 WJR. See you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, boys. Enjoy. We'll talk to you next week.
See ya.